You span the bottle, then waited patiently for it to stop, using the time to survey your classmates. Most of them looked eager to play, but there were a few who looked less than impressed or downright nervous. Ojiro, Tokoyami, and Koda, to name 3. They were sat together in a block of solidarity, the poor souls that Ashido had bullied into playing. You felt sorry for them. They shouldn't have been forced to play if they didn't want to. The bottle came to a stop. Your breath hitched. It was pointing at Tokoyami. He looked at the bottle, looked at you, then looked at Ojiro as if to ask for reassurance. It put a seed of doubt in your stomach that he did not want to kiss you. He muttered something, but then Ojiro smiled and nodded, and Tokoyami looked easier about the situation after that. He got up and came to you, nodding in greeting when he was in front of you. Then you heard whispering.
So how do you think this is going to work? Can Tokoyami actually kiss?
Tokoyami cleared his throat, looking momentarily uncomfortable.
Perhaps you should kiss me, he said, holding your gaze long enough to give you an apologetic expression before he looked at the floor. Ah, you realized why Tokoyami had been reluctant to play. A beak was a difficult thing to kiss with.
It's okay, you said quietly, trying to contain your sense of disappointment. You actually had a soft spot for Tokoyami. Having him kiss you, however that was possible, would have made your evening.
I'd like you to kiss me, if you want to.
The room filled with gasps, coos, and chatter about your confession, but you were happy to bear it all thanks to Tokoyami's response. Realizing what you had said, before any words came out of his mouth, his eyes widened and then the feathers all over his head puffed up. It was his bird instinct, telling you how happy he was. He cleared his throat and tried hurriedly to smooth the feathers down, but his instincts betrayed him. He muttered,
I would, but I don't want to hurt you.
You wanted to ask what he meant by that, but with the rest of the room growing giddy from your confession, you didn't want to get them any more riled up, or you any more embarrassed. Tokoyami's reaction was more than enough to satisfy you. You smiled at him, then stepped in close to his body, placing a single, warm kiss against his cheek. You held it there for as long as you dared, then pulled back, feeling the sting of a blush on your face. He raised his hand to his cheek, seeming shocked that you had actually kissed him. He looked like he wanted to say something, but with everyone congratulating you, you returned to your seat before your blush could grow any darker. Ashido excused you from the circle after that, saying it was only fair to give the others chance to have a turn, so you shuffled backwards, then hoisted yourself onto an unoccupied sofa, preparing to watch your classmates and friends make fools of themselves. As the game carried on, with Midoriya having to kiss Todoroki, a spectacle that had half the room screaming with girlish delight, you found yourself glancing at Tokoyami while he chatted quietly to Ojiro. He caught you watching once, then twice, then pulled out his phone and started typing something out. Curiously, Ojiro smiled at you while he was doing it. His expression was warm and reassuring, but you weren't sure why. Then your phone buzzed in your pocket.
Can we talk?
Tokoyami looked at you across the room, then lowered his gaze back to his phone. Of course. What's up?
Face to face, I mean. Can we talk upstairs?
Sure. We can go to my room?
Mine's closer. I'll be waiting.
It was easy to slip away without many questions when almost everyone's attention was on the unexpected display of Todo Deku. Tokoyami went first. Then you followed a few moments later, giggling when Ashido screamed, "Someone grab a camera quick!" and used it as your chance to escape. On your way to Tokoyami's room, You felt butterflies in your stomach. You weren't sure what had you so giddy. He might be about to tell you privately that you had bad breath and needed to work on your hygiene. Somehow, though, you knew that wasn't it. The butterflies grew stronger when you reached his door and knocked on it. He let you in, then offered you his bed to sit on. He stood for a moment, until you tapped the place beside you once you were comfortable. Then he cleared his throat and spoke.
What you said earlier. Did you mean it? That you wanted me to kiss you?
He sounded uncertain, like he couldn't believe you would want that. But now that you were away from everyone else, it was very easy for you to admit it. I did. You liked the way he smiled, hearing that. He shuffled closer to you, ever so slightly.
I'm flattered, he said, and I want to. I do, but I thought you should know that I don't kiss. Normally.
You had gathered as much. Is that what you meant when you said you didn't want to hurt me? You asked, loving the way he dared shuffle even closer to you. He nodded, holding your gaze. You shuffled closer to him. I don't mind. I want you to kiss me.
Are you sure?
I am. Tokoyami reached forward, placing his hand on top of yours.
It's not all that romantic.
I don't care. That was all the reassurance he needed. He leaned into you while you closed your eyes, then you felt his hands cup the base of your chin. He let out a small, shaking breath, then you felt the most curious but delightful of things. He very gently started nibbling and nipping at the side of your face with his beak, nuzzling your cheek when he could. Your heart clenched. He was kissing you. It didn't hurt at all. It was adorable. Tokoyami, you purred, daring to nuzzle him back. He stopped and looked at you, wondering if you found it too strange and wanted him to stop. But you didn't. You held his face and grinned, overflowing with giddiness and joy. Then you assaulted him with dozens of tiny kisses all over his beak. I love it. He pulled you into his lap.
Then I propose, he said, nuzzling your cheek with great affection, that we do this more often.